Hey, welcome back, friends. We haven't done an e-bike review in quite some time, and I thought I would start. I've got a couple of them in the garage, but I thought I'd start with this one from SMRFS. This is the Defender model, and this unit is waterproof. I think that's a big deal for RVers. They market these bikes specifically to RVers. They have a security system on it. They're supposed to be completely rust-proof, but more importantly, they're waterproof. IPX6, as a matter of fact, which means you can basically do anything with it except dunk it in a pool or a lake. So today we're going to go over the features of this SMRF. I call it Smurfs because it looks like the word Smurfs to me. So we'll call it Smurfs Defender, and we'll go through the features. We'll take it on a ride. I hope you'll stick around. All right, let's start with the three things that make this bike supposedly RV friendly, and the one that I've talked about that I think is most important is that IPX6 rating, which means you can put this thing on a bike rack and head down the road. If it pours rain, if you go through a hurricane, you're good to go. Also, you can just leave it out at your campsite and you don't have to worry about it raining, etc. Most e-bikes are not in that category. There's always exceptions to the rules, and this is one of them. The waterproof rating is a huge deal. Now, secondly, they have upgraded a lot of these components, a lot of the screws, etc., to be rust-free. So this bike is supposed to be rust-free. Now, obviously, I have not had this bike in conditions conducive to rust. I've kept it in my garage, and I've only had it about 6 months. So I have no idea if that's the case. It seems to be the case. It looks like most of the hardware is going to be good to go, and they make that claim. I don't know why we wouldn't believe them, but yeah, I think that's important. And lastly, something I found is really interesting is it's got a security system on it. So you see your little key fob here. See if I can get close enough to hear it. I'm going to hit the little lock button. See, can you hear that and get the microphone close? And if you move the bike, so if I do this, if I lock it, and then I take the bike and I start moving it, it has a little alarm. So I don't know if you can hear that. Let me get the mic close again. Now, let me turn that off because that would get very annoying. All right, there you go. I'm just using my little key fob here. Now, it's not terribly loud. I do think you could hear it inside your RV if it was sitting close to the RV. So I think that's pretty cool. It locks out the e-bike capabilities of this unit. So I thought that was very interesting. Now, let's go into... that's what makes it RV friendly. Let's go into the basics of the rest of this bike. All right, let's start. You got a little button on top of your controller here. Let's turn this unit on. There you go. And you can see here it's set up for miles an hour. This one is set up to go 28 miles an hour. And I have set it to where it instantly gives you pedal assist. So you can adjust your pedal assist over here, and it goes all the way up to a level of 9 in the way I have it set up. When it comes to you from the factory, it's going to be set up 0 to 5. So you can determine how you want to set yours up. You do that, you hold this little information button right here, and you can see display settings, advanced settings, etc. We can go down to advanced settings, and you can see the assist levels. Right, I changed it right there. It's got your wheel that lets you know how fast you're going. Your speed limit is 37 here. There's no way this goes to 37. I have tested that. It does not work. It gets up to about 28 on perfectly flat ground. Let's go back and go to display here. You can see your trip settings there, imperial units, brightness, all of these fun things that you can adjust. Most folks don't bother with any of this, minus the imperial to metric. You may want to do that, but otherwise, most people don't bother with any of this stuff. The information page, just a software thing. That's about it as far as that's concerned. Now, when you get going, you're going to see it in a minute. It's going to let you know how much power you're using right here with the 0 watts is at. Sorry, I burned my thumb over the weekend. Your trip here, I've almost got 50 miles on this bike, and you see 100% battery life. And yeah, we'll take it for a ride here in just a second. Let's go back out in the sun and show you the rest of the bike. All right, you guys have been seeing the bike. The watt hours on the battery, you're looking at a 672 watt hours, 48 volt battery. It pops out of that enclosure right there very easily, not a problem at all. You have a charging port up here that also you can also put an extended battery right here on top. Decent travel in these front shocks. These front shocks aren't the best in the world. You can see here they specifically say don't take this one on very rough terrain. So yeah, this is going to be more for campgrounds, more for light trails, etc., etc. You got a lockout here for those shocks, and then you also have how much you want the shocks to move. You can adjust that over there. Got your little headlight. Now the headlight's interesting. It determines when it comes on and off. So if you're in a darker, if it's dawn or dusk, it'll pop on. During the daytime, it stays off. What is this? 26-inch by 3 tires. Now, I'm going to say I've had 4-inch, I've had 2-inch. The 3-inch is a nice happy medium. The 4-inch, if you aren't exactly dialed in with your PSI, it can get a little wobbly. They're almost too fat. The 3-inch is a nice happy medium. I actually like that these have 3-inch tires. And yeah, I'm a big fan. I think if I were going to choose any bike, I would definitely have 3-inch tires for our purposes. You got hydraulic brakes. Now, I do think hydraulic brakes are best case scenario. That's the best braking system you can have. They can be finicky, though. At times, they need to be bled. And in that regards, they can be more of a pain in the butt. But they're better than mechanical brakes when they are working correctly. You can see it's just a basic run-of-the-mill Shimano. You know, these bikes advertise having Shimano components, but there are different levels of Shimano components, and this one's not exactly top of the line. It's okay. It's medium duty. You got your little rack back here, 55-pound load on the rack. Your basics of bikes, you know, you got your torque sensor here. Basically, what a torque sensor does is it eliminates a lot of the herky-jerky out of the motor engaging and disengaging. So it's good to have a torque sensor for sure. One of my favorite items on this particular bike, and something I've learned to really love, is the throttle control here. Instead of the old thumb push, this is much more, oh, here we go. This one's way more comfortable over a long ride versus the thumb throttle. The thumb throttle gets old. You don't know where to adjust it, up here or down here. It just gets old. You start to get a little cramp here in your thumb if you go on a long ride. And I love the fact that this is a twist throttle. That would be another preference. The 3-inch tires are a big go for me, and the twist throttle is a big go for me. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. All aluminum here. You can see they've finished off the welds. So, you know, generally there'd be a weld here. That's been finished. There's welds here, but they've all been sanded and finished. It's a good looking bike. I like this color. It also comes in a gray color and a white color. Retail right now for these, a little over $2,300. Whether or not it's worth it to you, that's very subjective. I do like the waterproof. Got a brake light back here. It also, let me see if I can turn it on for you. Let's see here. Yeah, there you go. You also got blinkers on this thing. So the brake light comes all the way around. You can imagine that, but your blinkers on the back right there. So it got a lot of features for sure. Price tag is a little bit up there, but I think you get what you pay for, in my opinion. I'll let you let you determine whether or not you agree with me. Let's take it for a ride. All right, let's start by making sure she's unlocked. All right, you hear that the little 2 tweets? And let's turn her on right here. There we go. Pop up the kickstand. I'm already in 1. I'm going to bump it all the way up and give you a full example of its power. And I like to push off with a pedal, and then generally after that I'll just go throttle control. It's got plenty of power. Now you guys are going to see, we've done this trek on most of our e-bike reviews. You guys are going to see here in a minute up these hills, it'll lose a little bit of speed, but for the most part it does pretty good. 24, I think you guys can see that, yep. 24 miles an hour, gaining a little speed, still going uphill. I'm going to run this stop sign. You guys will probably fuss at me in the comments. Let's go down here and get it on a nice little incline, and I'll show you how well it climbs. It does pretty good. 750 watt motor. Supposedly gets 30 to 60 miles, depending on how you're using it, between the throttle and the pedal assist. Now obviously if you're helping it with the pedals, as you're going to get more mileage. So you'll see here, we will not go around the lake this time, but I'm going to go around this little cul-de-sac and climb this hill again. And I'll tell you when I put the hammer down. All right, full throttle right now. Okay, 10, 12, 13, 14. That was pretty steep. 13, lost a little bit. There it goes. Let's go rocking back up. Now you can see we got a full hill going up right here. This is probably a 4%, 5% grade right here. 21, able to maintain 21, so not bad. Now keep in mind, there it goes down to 20. I'm watching both ways, don't worry. So now if we go downhill, this thing will keep helping me up to 28 miles an hour. But you can see even going up that grade, we had a nice maintained a nice 20 miles an hour. So that was good. This is another little grade here, probably a 3% grade, 2-3% grade, and we're gaining speed. I think it's good that this bike, and I understand I'm at the upper limits of this particular payload. It says the rider needs to be 245 or less. I'm around 235, so I'm only giving it about 10 pounds of cushion. And even up this little hill, we're doing pretty good. Now, you guys know we're about to hit the big hill. I'm going to come down here, turn around, and we're about to hit this really big hill here. And I say big hill, big enough for these bikes. All right, now as I turn around in this cul-de-sac, this is going to be a real test because this is a nice little grade here. And I'll tell you when I get on it. All right, full throttle. And you can see here, we got a good 8% grade maybe here. Now, almost all of these bikes will tell you, you don't need to do anything past 10% grade. You're going to damage the bike. You're going to damage the battery. But here we got 18, maintaining 18, about to hit again a 17. So not terrible. And if you expect much more than that, your expectations probably need to be reset. All right, friends, there you go. A nice little review and ride of the SMRFS Defender. Yeah, I think this is a pretty handy bike. I love, again, the waterproof rating. You know, that's something I would definitely look for in my next e-bike. Hey, guys, over 80,000 subscribers, and every single video in 2024, I just want to say thank you. So thank you so very much. I really do appreciate it, and so does my family. I hope you guys are being safe out there. Let me know what you think about this e-bike down in the comments. See ya.